Sometimes, life slams into you like a great white shark. Imagine calmly waiting for a wave during a surf competition, when suddenly, something powerful hits you from below. You're thrown into the water, the surfboard leash snapped, and a massive shark fin cuts through the surface just meters away. This isn't a Hollywood script, it's what happened to champion surfer Mick Fanning during the 2015 J-Bay Open, broadcast live to millions. The physical danger passed quickly. But the emotional aftermath? That was the real storm he had to ride. You don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying there. Edwin Louis Cole. Mick Fanning's recovery didn't begin on a surfboard. It began in stillness, with fear, flashbacks, and the haunting weight of survivor's guilt. Emotional wounds aren't visible, but they're deeply felt. Experts in psychology call this the domain of emotional intelligence, or EQ, the set of skills that helps us navigate life's internal chaos. As psychologist Daniel Goleman puts it, what really matters for success, character, happiness and lifelong achievement is a definite set of emotional skills, not just purely cognitive abilities. Think of emotional intelligence as your mental surfboard. Self-awareness is how you read the ocean, recognizing your internal weather. Self-management is your ability to stay balanced when the swell rises unexpectedly. Social awareness helps you sense the tides of others' emotions, while relationship management is how you paddle through rough waters together. Just like Fanning didn't jump back into the ocean right away, developing EQ takes time, patience, and practice. But once you build it, it's a tool you can trust. What do you do when life knocks you off balance? Do you freeze, flee, or face it? Emotional intelligence invites a better question: how can I respond in a way that serves my growth, not my fear? Fanning chose healing before performance, vulnerability over bravado. He showed us that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's returning to the water when fear is still whispering. So, the next time you're thrown into emotional turbulence, whether from heartbreak, burnout, or unexpected crisis, choose resilience over reaction. Start with small moments of awareness. Talk about your fear. Give yourself space. And remember, you don't need to surf perfect waves to live a powerful life. You just need to keep showing up. Because true strength isn't avoiding the deep, it's learning how to float in it. About the author. Dr. Travis Bradberry is a renowned authority in emotional intelligence, holding dual PhDs in clinical psychology and industrial organizational psychology. He co-authored the international bestseller Emotional Intelligence 2.0, a widely acclaimed book that has sold millions of copies and been translated into multiple languages. Celebrated for his talent in turning in-depth psychological insights into actionable strategies, Dr. Bradberry is a highly sought-after speaker and advisor. His work has guided industry leaders at companies such as Microsoft, Salesforce, and Coca-Cola. Key Takeaway 1: Why emotions hijack your mind, and how to take control. Emotional Intelligence Explained. You may not realize it, but every decision you make is filtered through emotion before logic even gets a say. Neuroscientists have found that when sensory information enters your brain, it first travels to the limbic system, the area responsible for emotional processing, before ever reaching the rational, thinking part. That's why, in moments of stress or conflict, you might say something you regret or freeze in fear. As Dr. Daniel Goleman famously put it, emotional self-awareness is the building block of the next fundamental emotional intelligence, being able to shake off a bad mood. This biological sequence is not a flaw, it's an invitation to develop emotional intelligence, a powerful set of skills that help you respond instead of react. So what exactly is emotional intelligence, or EQ? At its core, EQ consists of 4 key competencies: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. These aren't just soft skills, they're survival tools in modern life. In today's stress-saturated, fast-paced world, knowing how to manage your emotional landscape is as essential as any technical expertise. Think of EQ as the internal GPS that helps you navigate both your inner triggers and external relationships with clarity and control. The journey begins with self-awareness, your ability to notice, name, and understand your emotions in real time. Imagine standing in front of a mirror that reflects not your appearance, but your mood. That's self-awareness. Instead of reacting blindly, you pause, observe, and ask, what exactly am I feeling, and why? This clarity opens the door to self-management, the second EQ pillar. It's the ability to regulate those emotions so they don't sabotage your intentions. Think of it as learning to drive in the rain. You don't stop the storm, but you adjust your grip on the wheel and your speed on the road. The third element, social awareness, moves the focus outward. It's the emotional radar that picks up on others' nonverbal cues, tone of voice, or mood shifts. Ever walked into a room and instantly felt tension in the air? That's social awareness at work. This skill deepens empathy and improves how you respond to the feelings of others, especially in team settings or emotionally charged environments. Finally, relationship management brings it all together. It's the art of using emotional insight to lead, influence, collaborate, and resolve conflict with grace. As the saying goes, people will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So, what's your next step? Emotional intelligence isn't an inborn trait, it's a learnable skill. You don't have to tackle all 4 areas at once. Start small. Pick one area, maybe self-awareness or social awareness, and commit to practicing it daily. Journal your emotional triggers, listen without interrupting, or pause before responding. Over time, these moments of emotional mastery compound. You'll feel more grounded, more connected, and more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. And that's not just smart, it's emotionally intelligent. Key takeaway 2. How to master emotional intelligence, sleep, confidence and naming emotions explained. What if the simple act of naming your emotions could calm your mind, improve your relationships, and even help you live longer? According to neuroscience, it can. In our fast-paced world, emotional awareness often gets sidelined, but it's one of the most powerful tools for mental clarity, physical health, and self-confidence. Whether you're facing burnout, relationship friction, or personal doubt, mastering your emotional intelligence, EQ, offers a path to transformation. And the good news? It doesn't require massive life overhauls, just small, deliberate shifts in daily habits. Dr. Travis Bradberry, co-author of the bestseller Emotional Intelligence 2.0, notes that self-awareness isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. But here's where it starts, simply labeling your feelings. Neuroscience shows that when you do this, the rational part of your brain, the frontal cortex, takes over, and your emotional brain, the amygdala, quiets down. Think of it like turning down the volume on anxiety. The same technique works when you reflect someone else's feelings back to them. You sound really overwhelmed and can instantly de-escalate tension. Studies even show that people who express their emotions more tend to live longer, especially those over 100. So next time stress sneaks in, try asking yourself, what exactly am I feeling right now? Alongside emotional labeling, building confidence plays a critical role in emotional self-regulation. Confidence isn't just about charisma or certainty, it's a set of behaviors that reinforce inner belief. Want to build it? Start by practicing 7 simple habits. Don't make excuses, don't wait for permission, avoid procrastination, skip the self-judgment, and push your boundaries when things feel too easy. These behaviors help rewire your response to fear and rejection, strengthening your EQ and reframing how you show up under pressure. Even if you make mistakes, acting with confidence can move you closer to your goals than waiting for perfect conditions ever will. Of course, none of this works without one of the most overlooked emotional intelligence enhancers, quality sleep. Your brain literally detoxes itself while you sleep, clearing out harmful proteins that build up during the day. It also recalibrates emotional stability, strengthens memory, and reduces risk of chronic diseases like heart attacks and diabetes. Yet many of us push sleep aside, thinking we can catch up later. The truth? You likely need more rest than you think. Try heading to bed just 30 minutes earlier and adjusting until you feel sharper and more emotionally balanced the next day. And here's a surprise villain in your emotional clarity: caffeine. While coffee might feel like your best friend, it lingers in your system long after your last sip. That 2 p.m. pick-me-up? Still 50% active at bedtime. Chronic caffeine consumption can wreck your sleep and emotional regulation. Instead, scale back gradually and limit caffeine to the morning. Your sleep will improve, and with it, your EQ will naturally rise. If you're serious about growing your emotional intelligence, start small, label your feelings, boost your confidence, prioritize sleep, and rethink your coffee habits. These micro adjustments create macro results. Keep learning, stay curious, and grow intentionally, because emotional intelligence isn't a talent, it's a choice. Key takeaway 3. How to master self-management, stop reacting and start responding with emotional intelligence. Picture this: you receive a critical email from your boss just as you're about to log off for the day. Your heart races. Anger flares. You're tempted to fire off a defensive reply, but what if, instead, you paused? In that moment, the difference between reacting and responding can transform not just that email but your emotional well-being over time. Emotional intelligence isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about choosing your next move. With a few self-management strategies, you can turn emotional turbulence into grounded clarity. As Dr. Travis Bradberry emphasizes, emotions are not inherently negative, it's how we manage them that makes the difference. That starts with one deceptively simple skill: slowing down. When emotions spike, your thinking narrows. But when you give yourself space, whether that means taking a walk, counting to 10, or sleeping on it, you engage your brain's reflective capacity. REM sleep, in particular, helps process emotions and repair neurons, offering insight and perspective that heat-of-the-moment decisions can't. So, before you react, pause. That's where clarity lives. Next, consider the quiet power of setting boundaries. It's tempting to say yes to every request, especially when it comes from someone you care about or want to impress. But without boundaries, your emotional energy depletes quickly. Saying no isn't selfish, it's self-respect. Instead of vague excuses, use firm, clear language: "I won't be able to this time." That directness communicates both integrity and confidence. Ask yourself, when was the last time I said yes when I really meant no? Honoring that inner voice is key to sustainable emotional resilience. Now let's tackle an invisible habit that damages your mental strength: complaining. Chronic complaining doesn't just bring others down, it literally shrinks your brain's hippocampus and floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone that weakens immunity and sharpens anxiety. But you can counteract this with gratitude and solution-focused thinking. Try naming one thing you're grateful for each day, or reframing complaints into constructive feedback. For example, "I appreciated your previous support, and here's how we can improve moving forward." That kind of communication enhances connection and minimizes defensiveness. And finally, ditch the multitasking myth. While it feels productive to juggle tasks, your brain is actually switching focus back and forth, diluting your attention and increasing stress. Over time, habitual multitasking can impair cognitive function and make it harder to concentrate, even on simple tasks. The fix? Do one thing at a time. By giving your full attention to the task at hand, you not only get better results, you train your mind for focus, presence, and clarity. Take a moment today to choose one of these self-management techniques, whether it's slowing down, saying no, practicing gratitude, or single tasking, and commit to it. These small shifts compound into emotional mastery. Because remember, your emotions are valid, but your responses are powerful. Choose them wisely. Key takeaway 4. How to read people better: mastering social awareness with emotional intelligence. Imagine this: you're in a meeting, and someone nods in agreement, but their tone is flat, and they avoid eye contact. Something feels off, yet you can't quite explain why. That's your social awareness kicking in, your emotional radar telling you there's more beneath the surface. In today's fast-paced, tech-distracted world, mastering this skill is no longer optional, it's essential. Whether you're navigating a workplace conversation, a friendship, or a negotiation, the ability to read people well can be the difference between misunderstanding and meaningful connection. Experts agree that empathy begins with presence. Renowned psychologist Carl Rogers once said, "The major barrier to mutual interpersonal communication is our very natural tendency to judge. To truly connect, start with deep listening. Ditch the distractions, yes, even your phone, and offer someone your full attention. Practice reflective listening by summarizing what they've said and asking thoughtful questions that show care. Real listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding emotion and intent." Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly listened to understand, rather than to reply? But social awareness isn't just about how you receive information, it's also about how you convey it. Pay attention to your tone, clarity, and delivery. For instance, upspeak, where your voice rises at the end of a sentence, may signal doubt and reduce your credibility. Instead, focus on confident, grounded speech. And remember the power of storytelling. According to communication studies, TED Talks that succeed typically rely 75% on story and only 25% on data. That's because stories stir emotion and build trust, key elements in any human interaction. Understanding human behavior goes even deeper. Did you know that in a 10-minute conversation, most people lie 2 to 3 times? Psychologist Robert Feldman's research shows that while women often lie to nurture, men tend to embellish to impress. Knowing how to detect dishonesty, such as through inconsistent details or awkward body language, can help you navigate interactions wisely. Still, remember not to judge too quickly. Fidgeting or lack of eye contact may have more to do with anxiety than deception. Social awareness is a skill of discernment, not assumption. Lastly, never underestimate the quiet force of intuition. A study on car buyers found that those who relied on gut feeling were more satisfied than those who made purely logical choices. Why? Because intuition often reflects a deeper, subconscious understanding of what's right. You can cultivate this by slowing down and tuning in. Take walks, breathe deeply, and reflect quietly on your interactions. Over time, your emotional intelligence will sharpen, not just through analysis, but through a felt sense of connection. And that's how you move from social guessing to genuine understanding. Start by listening more deeply in your next conversation. Put the phone down, lean in, and pay attention to tone and body language. As your emotional intelligence grows, so will your ability to build authentic relationships that thrive in every area of life. Key takeaway 5. Master relationship management with emotional intelligence, build trust and handle conflict wisely. Imagine sitting across from a colleague or loved one, knowing something important needs to be said, but you hesitate. You don't want to create conflict, yet silence feels equally damaging. This delicate space between connection and confrontation is where relationship management thrives. In today's emotionally complex world, being able to nurture trust, set boundaries, and handle disagreements without burning bridges is a skill that defines your personal and professional success. And that skill isn't about charisma or charm, it's the application of emotional intelligence in real time. Experts agree that vulnerability builds connection. Dr. Brené Brown reminds us, vulnerability is not weakness, it's our greatest measure of courage. Expressing appreciation, sharing how much someone means to you, or simply pointing out a quality you admire can deepen any relationship. Neuroscience backs this up. Honest emotional sharing triggers oxytocin, the brain's bonding hormone. The more you engage in open-hearted communication, the more resilient your relationships become, even in moments of disagreement or stress. Ask yourself, when was the last time you told someone how much you appreciate them, just because? Of course, not every interaction is positive. Boundaries are essential, and emotionally intelligent boundaries are set with clarity, not conflict. When tension arises, shift your mindset from problem-focused to solution-oriented. For example, if someone constantly drains your energy, it's okay to step back and protect your emotional space. This doesn't mean cutting people off without empathy. It means reflecting, responding rather than reacting, and being firm while staying respectful. Like muscle memory, this boundary-setting skill strengthens with practice, especially when backed by self-awareness and calm communication. Conflict is inevitable, but it doesn't have to be destructive. Emotionally intelligent conflict resolution finds the balance between passivity and aggression, a middle ground called assertiveness. Rather than attacking or withdrawing, begin with curiosity. Ask thoughtful questions to understand the root of the issue. Replace "but with" and to invite collaboration. Use phrases like "what if we tried?" to explore solutions without sounding confrontational. These small shifts in language can diffuse tension and turn friction into fuel for deeper understanding and mutual growth. Relationship management is the final, integrative pillar of emotional intelligence, where everything comes together. When you combine self-awareness, empathy, and intentional behavior, you gain the power to transform your relationships from surface level to substantial. Whether you're managing a team, deepening a friendship, or resolving family tensions, emotional intelligence offers a toolkit for building trust, navigating conflict, and creating bonds that last. Start practicing these skills today. Express sincere appreciation, set one healthy boundary, and approach one difficult conversation with empathy and assertiveness. These small actions, repeated over time, will help you become the kind of leader, partner, and friend who connects with authenticity and clarity. In summary, in a world driven by constant change and high-pressure environments, emotional intelligence, EQ, is no longer just a desirable skill, it's essential for thriving. In the new Emotional Intelligence, Dr. Travis Bradberry offers a groundbreaking look at how mastering your emotions isn't just about being more sensitive or kind, it's about gaining the tools to make better decisions, build meaningful relationships, and unlock your full potential in every area of life. Using compelling stories, psychological insights, and practical tools, Bradberry reveals that while IQ may get you in the room, it's EQ that keeps you there, and helps you rise. The foundation of emotional intelligence lies in self-awareness, the ability to understand your emotions as they arise. Bradberry teaches that naming what you feel is the first step to transforming how you react. Just like a storm loses power once it's named, our emotions often become manageable when identified. This ability opens the door to reflection rather than reaction, allowing for more thoughtful decisions under pressure. It's not about suppressing emotions, It's about recognizing them without judgment and using them to guide better choices. Next comes self-management, the art of regulating emotions in a way that supports growth instead of sabotage. Strong feelings like anger, anxiety, or frustration can be overwhelming, but Bradbury reminds us that slowing down, sleeping on decisions, and practicing calm reflection can prevent emotional hijacking. He emphasizes the importance of setting healthy boundaries, saying no with grace, and shifting from constant complaints to constructive solutions. It's not what happens to us, but how we manage our response that shapes the outcome. The third pillar, social awareness, is where emotional intelligence begins to turn outward. Here, Bradbury dives into the power of empathy and the importance of being fully present in our interactions. He offers tools to improve listening skills, understand others' nonverbal cues, and even detect dishonesty with emotional precision. By tapping into your intuition and genuinely tuning into the emotional signals of others, you begin to see people not just as they present themselves, but as they truly are. Building on empathy, the final skill, relationship management, brings it all together. Bradbury shows how EQ allows us to build stronger bonds, communicate with clarity, and resolve conflicts in ways that strengthen trust instead of breaking it. From giving appreciation openly to setting boundaries respectfully and handling difficult conversations with assertiveness rather than aggression, these tools become game changers in both professional and personal realms. Ultimately, every relationship becomes a reflection of your emotional literacy. Throughout the book, Bradbury challenges the misconception that emotional intelligence is a static trait. Instead, it's a learnable skill, a set of behaviors you can strengthen with intention and practice. Whether you're navigating a career pivot, leading a team, healing from emotional wounds, or simply seeking deeper human connection, the new emotional intelligence provides a roadmap to get there. You're not just reacting to life, you're creating it from the inside out. One of the most powerful messages in the book is that the greatest success comes not from avoiding emotional discomfort but from learning to understand and grow through it. EQ gives you the clarity to see who you really are and the courage to become who you're meant to be. As Bradbury reminds us, it's not the smartest people who succeed, it's those who can best manage their emotions. In a world that often pushes us to do more, be faster, and chase achievement at all costs, this book offers something rare, a pause, a moment to reflect, and a guide to build strength from within. It's a call to rise, not by outworking others, but by understanding yourself more deeply and showing up with intention in every moment. Thank you for tuning into this powerful book review. If you found value in this message, please like, share, and subscribe to help spread this wisdom far and wide. And if no one told you lately, remember this: you are loved, you are worthy, and you are spectacularly capable of achieving extraordinary goals.